got my travel bag and my toothbrush ready. Sorting through some camera kit. Sleeping bag, pillowcase, coffee, a foamy thing to protect my laptop, phone, batteries, cameras.
I was on a mission, and no, this is not a road trip, although it starts out as one. I was with my friend Brian. He just bought a boat, and it was a place called Gulf Harbor. Our mission was to fetch the boat and bring it back to Whangarei. For me at least, this was a first-time trip to the outskirts of Auckland. It was completely different to the north of the island where I live. Brian, being a local, knew his way around, so I wasn't worried when we stopped off at this field.
We're just coming through the door here. This is how New Zealand, you buy your beer. You go to a room and it's chilling. And there's rows and 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 rows of beer.
The marina itself is quite beautiful, and it was interesting to be somewhere else rather than where I'd been for the last few months. Decided to stop for something to eat after these guys had finished, then set off to find the boat.
Look at this.
Corrugated iron boat.
It's a huge marina. We've actually had to go back out in the street and walk round. You cannot tell from this just how big this marina is. Yes, very nice. This is going to be the home for the next day or two. Oh, I like the coffee.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Oh, I can feel the heat coming out.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty bad. There's one thing about this boat, I was really surprised there's no fans on board.
No fans.
Which makes no sense at all to me.
It's very early in the morning here at Gulf Harbor. I think it's about 3:30, 4 o'clock or something like that. Brian's on deck sorting stuff out. It's his boat, so he knows where everything is. I'm keeping out of the way, stashed my stuff, making coffee, got to get our priorities right. Already been to the loos, which are about half a mile away. So we'll make sure we did that in plenty of time. So I just need to get a coffee down my neck before I do anything in the morning, which is what I'm going to do now.
Nice to be at sea.
As there was no wind, we'd had to motor out from Gulf Harbour and clear the coast. Then it was time to put up the sails because Brian had just bought the boat. It was the first time for him as well as me. This is an unusual system. It's a reefing system from the boom. When you think of a reefing mainsail, it normally comes out of the mast, but not this one. As you can see, the mainsail is rolled up inside the boom. It was interesting to see how it was going to work.
So here we are, summer sailing in New Zealand. If anybody wants to know what sailing in New Zealand is like during the summer months, this is it.
It's all good, Barry.
Yeah,
All good.
it's all good but cold.
All good but the cold.
That's definitely rain over there. So that's New Zealand in one shot. Sunshine, rain. Sunshine, rain.
As soon as the stress of leaving the harbour and putting up the sails had passed, we started to enjoy ourselves. Two friends doing what they enjoy most in life, being at sea sailing. It couldn't get any better, but then it did.
Brilliant. It's a long time since I've seen dolphins.
Of course, it's not all excitement in sailing. There are many times when it's almost boring. The serenity becomes too much. And you have a day like this where it's not particularly sunny. You're enjoying yourself, but the journey is quite a long one. So you have to find something inside yourself, retreat inside yourself, amuse yourself, read a book. Sometimes there's no internet out there. But I just like to sit and watch the waves. And then, of course, as we got closer to land, the land is beautiful around here. It's nice just to sit there, take it all in, enjoy the fresh air, and enjoy nature at its best. Started our approach to the river. There's quite a lot of commercial traffic up here, and the wind was quite strong. We had to be very careful because there's a lot of big traffic up here, so you have to stay aware and vigilant. We'd taken in the jib because it was easier to see things and we had better control that way with the engine on and the mainsail up. But then, of course, it was time to take the mainsail down, reef it back into its boom section. Again, interesting to see how that worked. I kind of took the helm and Brian fiddled around and did what he had to do. But we got her in, and by this time it was quite a stiff breeze.
quietness and serenity. Finally stopped just outside of Whangarei. There's a bridge that goes up and down and we have to go underneath. We stopped just outside of that area, waiting for the tide to get a little bit higher because the river gets quite shallow further up. And then we're going to stop off, drop some gear off, and then take Brian's boat onto some pile moorings, which should be fun. I was looking around his boat because I've been doing the anchoring while he's been on the helm. He's got what I don't have, foot switches in the deck for the anchor. I was talked out of that by various people who say that when they're on the deck like that, they tend to break because they get smashed and bashed and can get salt water in there. So hence I have a different system. And he's got a slightly different kind of windlass than I have. It's actually standing up on its side rather than lying that way like mine. But all in all, a good trip. It's beautiful here. The sun has actually finally come out. It's warm. It's been cold. I tell you, very, very cold. Both of us are just completely surprised about just how cold it's been. But now all is good, and I'm looking forward to an anchor beer, which I can't have just yet because we're not finished for the trip yet. More work to do. Taking a closer look at the roller reefing. The thing of this system is that you can actually have, as this has, full-length battens in the sail, because they roll down the gully, the boom if you like. Whereas the in-mast furling system, you can't have battens in that, which is a major drawback. And I think having it down here, it's easier to deal with if you have a jam. Plus this system is open. It doesn't disappear into a little slot like the ones do that are in mast furling systems, which is scary because if you ever get one stuck in there and you've got a mainsail up in bad conditions, you need to get down and it's stuck in there. That would be a nightmare. But this system, I can see the merits of this. It's actually an old-fashioned idea. You do see old yachts with just like a brass handle for winding the sail in, but that was in the days before full battens and modern materials. Well, I can see the point in this.
When you've been on a long journey, it's always good to have friends at the dock to help you tie up when you get in.
So when you get a load of rope all tangled up in a boat like this, it's called a load of bollocks. Brian is sorting out...
bollocks, your bollocks.
Yeah, Brian is currently sorting out a load of bollocks.
After sorting out the mooring ropes, Compadre was taken up the river, this time with a new female crew up to her new moorings. What followed then was a massive refit. Brian spent the next few months working on Compadre, and eventually she was rolled out of the shed. This is her. This is the same boat, now named Vespa. She is beautiful. He's done one heck of a job on this boat. Just take a look. Meanwhile, life goes on. The old bicycle needed a bit of a tuning up and a refit and a bit of oil, so that's what I did one day. I'm very bad at things like this. I let them go a bit too far, but I need my bike. So work was done on that. And then one morning, this happened.
Hi, you've been sneaky.
Not trying to be.
Yeah. Okay, carry on. What was the water test, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just making sure people are following the rules of the marina.
Okay. That's alright, carry on.
We've got the poo police here. It's like environmental guys. They've been a bit sneaky. I don't like the way they're sneaky. They creep up when you're not looking and check the water underneath the boat to see if you've been pooing in the water, and they write the name down, all this sort of stuff. So yeah. Sneaky. Thing is, the water's dirty anyway. I don't know if they can tell that it's from this boat or somebody else's boat. It's dirty with all kinds of fish poo and all sorts of stuff, but apparently they can tell, so I don't know. But it's sneaky.
He was doing it just here, but as you can see, this water is pretty nasty. Hey guys. Because of where the boat is, the water comes in and gets trapped in this little corner. And it can be pretty nasty sometimes. It's all natural stuff though. On this side of the pontoon, it's different, it's clear. But on this side, it's yuck, and he's just taken a sample of that. He's down there doing somebody else now, just to prove it's the same day. There we go. And there's the bloke down there. If you look carefully, you can see the water is actually flowing into here. So anything that's been sampled in here is coming from somewhere else. You can see it drifting past my boat, look. Mr. Sneaky. I'm all for checking the environment and all for protecting the environment. But I got to say, here in New Zealand, they take it to an extreme that is verging on paranoia.
But I don't let sneaky people worry me, because this week I talked to dolphins. Thank you to my incredible patrons for their support. Thank you for watching. For real-time updates, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Please don't forget to subscribe and press that notifications bell.